This afternoon, right now, we are monitoring this, a fatal crash and a backup in the area of Westfield. NDOT cameras were rolling on it this morning, and it was just hours ago that we learned that, yes, it's confirmed, one person died in that crash. It shut down all the lanes of northbound US 31 up near 161st Street. Westfield police tell us that the car was traveling south when then it crossed over the grassy median for unknown reasons and then crashed into a semi-truck that was headed north. The driver of the car died and the semi-driver now is injured. Right now, we're working to learn what's the status of those northbound lanes as the investigation into this fatal crash along US 31 continues. It's now 12:01, and thanks for joining us today. I'm Anne-Marie Tiernan here with our meteorologist Sean Ash with what he says, enjoy, because this is the sunniest day of the week.
Yeah, and we'll need it after the frosty start we had this morning, but a nice quiet day for us, and then terribly timed rain.
Oh, shoot.
Coming in for the weekend here.
No, we're talking about Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
There's a lot of outdoor events planned for that.
Start thinking about those indoor options.
Okay.
Yeah, it is looking rather wet as we move forward. But yes, it is just an absolutely spectacularly sunny day here in central Indiana. As we look at our camera there at the Carmel City Hall, you can see a beautiful blue sky there. Temperatures responding to it, and we told you this would happen. It's 53 now in Indy, 53 in Noblesville. A few fair weather clouds popping there with our camera in Bunker Hill, but a clean sweep on radar, and it will stay that way until about this time tomorrow. We do have showers for Thursday. So today's going to be a nice outdoor day for you. Not a lot of breeze. As we expand the map here, this little warm front coming in, and that will be the shower producer at times on Thursday. Today we're pushing 60 degrees, if not warmer than that in the afternoon. I want to jump to Friday because we're going to jump to almost 80 degrees, if not warmer. It is going to take a lot of wind to get us there. And as we've been addressing, there is a potential that some of the storms Friday night, early Saturday morning, could be severe. I'm going to go into that and let you know how much rain we're expecting for the early call for Easter weekend ahead in the 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Sean. New at noon, 4 people now are facing charges in connection to a deadly double shooting in Brownsburg. None of them are charged with murder. So this is a follow-up to a shooting that happened back on March 5th around 2:30 in the morning. It happened near East Main and South Green Streets. That's where police say they found 2 men dead inside an SUV. The coroner later identified those 2 men as 19-year-old Lucas Brearley and 25-year-old Zachary Johnson. Police say they also found a 21-year-old man, Logan Huffine, who had been shot, and he was in a front yard yelling for help. And officers say there was another 20-year-old who ran from the scene. Investigators say that Johnson and Huffine, who were in Brownsburg to visit friends, were trying to steal from cars, and they had guns on them. Officers said Johnson and Brearley then got into a fight in the SUV while they were leaving Brownsburg. That's when they say Brearley shot and killed Johnson. Police say Huffine, who was driving, then shot and killed Brearley. Investigators determined that Huffine was defending himself and Johnson when he fired the shot at Brearley. Now to a story that we've been following for you all morning today. There is one person now listed in critical condition after a shooting on the east side of Indianapolis. It happened just before midnight on 34th and Emerson. IMPD says when they got to the scene, they found a man who was shot inside a truck. EMS rushed the victim to the hospital. Right now, investigators believe his truck was parked at a gas station when someone started shooting. We're told the man inside the truck then tried to leave, went across the intersection and slammed into a wall. Police say they immediately started looking for suspects.
Officers received a vague description of the suspects and began setting up a perimeter. We called for canine and a drone and attempted to locate them, but were unsuccessful.
We have reached out to police for updates, and we'll pass along any new information as it comes in on all of our WTHR platforms. One family today is pushing to learn much more about the investigation into a car crash that killed a recent Hamilton Southeastern High School graduate. Mason Alexander was riding in a car that went off the road and then slammed into a tree. Logan Gay talked with Mason's family members who say for them, closure is elusive.
It's now been more than a month since 18-year-old Mason Alexander was killed in a fiery car crash. He was riding in the passenger seat when investigators say the driver of the car tried to pass another vehicle, overcorrected, and ended up driving into a tree.
It was so preventable. It did not have to happen.
Mason was a former Hamilton Southeastern football star who had recently joined the University of Pittsburgh football team. His funeral was packed with people, including his former and future teammates. Some people may have thought that this was the end of a tragic story, but Mason's family says it doesn't stop here.
You think like this is a dream or a nightmare you're going to wake up from and it's going to be over, right? And then everybody's trying to still try to process like where are we at in this investigation.
An investigation the family says they feel is leaving them in the dark.
Something should have changed by now. Like, where are we at? And we keep getting the runaround about, oh, well, we're waiting on this to come back. We're waiting on that to come back. We're waiting for results to come back. And it can, you know, every case is different. It can take months. But at the end of the day, it's like you have everything that you need.
13 News reached out to the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office about any updates on the investigation. The chief deputy prosecuting attorney explained that this all takes time. He tells us when there is a fatality that might result in criminal charges, prosecutors are in communication with law enforcement from the beginning, and that process can take months. The chief deputy prosecutor says there are records they need to subpoena, plus lab examinations that need to be performed. Then all of that must be reviewed. This is personal to Tamla Ingram. Her son and Mason played on the same football team. She says blood couldn't have made them closer.
This was his brother. This was his best friend. They had plans together.
She says her son was even driving behind the car when it crashed.
My son, Chandler, said, "Mom, I tried to save him. I pulled on his arms. I couldn't get him out the car."
Mason's loved ones believe speed and reckless driving were major factors in this crash.
He was going so fast. He was, further ahead than them, but they were still all trailing behind each other. So they couldn't even keep up with him.
Now Mason's family says they're going to keep pushing for answers and accountability.
Mason was a priority. Mason cannot speak for himself anymore. So we're speaking for him. And he's going to get justice.
That's Logan Gay reporting today. And as we continue to monitor updates on this investigation, Mason's family wants you to know that they are planning a peaceful rally. It's set for April 21st at 3:30 in the afternoon in front of the Noblesville Sheriff's Office. There are now 9 new executive orders in effect for the state of Indiana, and they're focused on improving public health here. Indiana Governor Mike Braun rolled them out yesterday alongside Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Health and Human Services Secretary, and Dr. Mehmet Oz. One of those executive orders deals with SNAP, commonly known as food stamps. Now, according to Indiana's Family and Social Services Administration, about 15% of the households that are in Marion County receive SNAP benefits last month. Add it out, and that's about 131,000 people. They each got, on average, $206 a month. One of the executive orders overhauls work requirements and also reinstates income and asset verification to qualify. Another order removes candy and soft drinks from the list of items that people can buy with SNAP benefits. The National Confectioners Association is pushing back, calling this policy misguided. The organization argues that candy makes up about 2% of SNAP purchases. But RFK Jr. and Dr. Oz support the plan.
This one really broke the bank on 9 executive orders, all designed to improve our farms, our fitness, our food, our education, our health.
SNAP is intended to help our neighbors who have fallen on hard times, but we also need to encourage their long-term self-sufficiency so that they can thrive and benefit in their communities.
Some of the other executive orders call for studies on the effects of dyes and additives in food, as well as possible connection between diet and chronic diseases. There's also an order to establish the governor's fitness test and a school fitness month. Another order cracks down on Medicaid eligibility errors.